I think now we're going to pass the floor to Luis, our head of unit of the Technology and Privacy Unit, for some closing remarks. So yeah, thank you again so much.
Yep, thank you very much, Melanie. Thank you very much, Stefano, for the fantastic moderation you have done today. Thank you very much to the speakers and also to all the IPEN participants, because indeed it's kind of a joy and a pleasure to see for us how privacy topics combined with very interesting technological elements make kind of this audience. So thank you very much for your participation today. Let me continue saying that indeed there is a pity that today we don't have our supervisor, but he was not able to join, so apologies on that. And I will be kind of making these closing remarks on his behalf. On one hand, I would like to point out how CBDC is inside our strategy and our foresight practice. 2 years ago, we asked ourselves the following question: which are the technologies that should be worth monitoring as kind of potentially important from a data protection world in these days? Well, in this area, we launched our TechSonar project, which is a process that allows us to continuously monitor what is happening on different areas and see which is the data protection impact that these technologies could potentially have. The aim of this initiative is to better understand future developments in the technology sector and see which is the impact and foresee that in advance, so we can prepare ourselves and see the things before they come. The results of our analysis were published in a report in December 2021, and a second report has been published just 2 weeks ago. In this report, we described technologies that we believe are worth closely monitoring in the years to come. Central bank digital currency is one of them, and the impact of this is top of our list. We have immediately realized how complex and challenging this topic can be. It's not only about legal aspect, it's also technological aspect and different topics on how this can be implemented. We say today how it can be online, the importance of the offline part, how this can be audited, how it cannot be audited, the cost of the different approaches, the privacy impact of the different approaches. So the decentralization part is a really, really challenging topic, and there are many options at the moment that are open. Thanks to the work that we did and we continue doing in this observation of the central bank digital currency, we notice how privacy engineering and privacy enhancing technologies can become a crucial element for this. We see from different parts of the world, from Europe to Canada, that citizens demand that whatever is the approach taken, privacy should be taken into consideration. Personal data should be one right that has to be respected. More specifically, we continue believing that privacy is not just a compliance matter. Also, as stated by the EDPB since June last year, privacy shall be wired within the core aspect of CBDC project, establishing a cornerstone of the final goal that the projects want to achieve with respect to fundamental values. This beautiful formation needs to be into concrete bits and bytes. In other words, we strongly believe that privacy and data protection obligations need to be encoded into the architecture and the solutions of the CBDC projects, not only in Europe, but also around the world. Today we saw even that this would be not something that should be taken into beginnings, but also that it should be to stay. It's not something that at one moment with one click could go away. That's something very important. Privacy should be there to stay. Trying to summarize the very interesting panels that we have today, we started with Mrs. Kumar from the Atlantic Council, who gave us a broad overview of the reason why CBDC is a good initiative and how the different kind of benefits can arise from there, in combination with the stable coins or with the current fiat. In the first panel, we understood how complex it can be to make privacy embedded into the transaction and validation process. Our Canadian colleagues, as well as Mr. Happel, explained the difficulties they encountered in the sense while deploying first prototypes. Furthermore, Dr. Grotov gave us a theoretical perspective on the possibilities that can be achieved with applied science. The second panel touched upon a very intriguing aspect, how to improve anonymity while auditing monitoring transactions. We learned that different architectural choices might entail different risks, but solutions to mitigate them exist with different maturity levels. Colleagues from the Swedish Central Bank have already developed an immense experience in this sense, and we think this experience has to be disseminated in the previous engineering domain. Mr. Boost opened our eyes to the possibility of using cryptography as a way to allow anonymous transaction monitoring. My take home of all this panel is that technology and solutions for embedding privacy and into architectural elements of CBDC exists, and we need to dedicate the resources and efforts that are needed to apply them in an efficient manner. On our side, on the EDPS, we have some step ahead. On one hand, we will continue to build our observing and monitoring capabilities in the field, and we will continue with our initiatives IPEN, our tech monitoring, tech sonar, as the backbone that allow us to understand the advance of CBDC. IPEN gave us today the possibility to have a fruitful dialogue with central bankers, academics, and private sector in order to continue this monitoring. As always, our sessions will be published in our website, and as would like to announce also that we will publish a tech dispatch on CBDC in the coming weeks, I would say. Finally, I would like to thank all participants and attendants. On behalf of the EDPS, I would like to thank you, all speakers that participated today online and also in presence, and the colleagues that did this wonderful organization. So on one hand, you saw Melanie and Stefano, but also some people in the background. Alexandre make a huge effort, and Dina, who is not now with us, also help a lot. Let me also, Elizabeth anticipated, wish you Merry Christmas in advance.